We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Merriman. Here. Mr. Mattern is absent. Dr. Scarpone.
Present.
Fiscal officer's not here. Solicitor, Mr. Lynn.
Present.
Mayor Mike Petrola.
Present.
Administrator, Mr. Kasegi.
Present.
Mr. DeStefano.
Here.
Mr. Spence here. Mrs. Damron. Mrs. Damron.
Here.
Thank you. All right. Will everyone please stand for a moment of silence in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint myself, Randy Spence, as administrator and/or clerk for this meeting. Can I get a second?
So moved.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Mrs. Damron.
Yay.
All right. Everyone get a chance to read over the minutes. We would need a motion to approve the minutes from our meeting on July 11th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
I have to abstain.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Mrs. Damron.
Yay.
All right. Is there anybody wishing to speak before council this evening? Okay. We're going to turn it over to myself, and Jake Lynn will read the ordinances and resolutions, and I will give a quick explanation on them all. Okay, go for me. Okay. I'll give a quick. The first one is appropriation of money with the police levies after the Rita tax came in.
This is ordinance number 2023-51, an ordinance providing for amending and revising the appropriations of expenditures for the village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Mrs. Damron.
Yay.
Can I get a motion to accept ordinance 2023-51?
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Mrs. Damron.
Yay.
Our next ordinance is, again, as everyone knows, we're starting our K-9 program back up. So this is just starting the revenue code in the fund 2904 for the K-9 for the police.
This is resolution number 2023-52, a resolution providing for establishing estimated revenue for the village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules for resolution 2023-52.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Mrs. Damron.
Yay.
Can I get a motion to accept resolution 2023-52?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Merriman.
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone.
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano.
Yay.
Mr. Spence. Yay. Mrs. Damron.
Yay.
All right, our next ordinance is again with the K-9 program, establishing the operating fund for the K-9 program.
This is ordinance number 2023-53, an ordinance providing for amending and revising the appropriation of expenditures for the village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2023-53?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Can I get a motion to accept ordinance 2023-53?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
This next ordinance is delinquent water fees will be transferred over to the county to put liens on real estate taxes.
This is ordinance number 2023-54, an ordinance directing the village clerk to certify delinquent water fees to the Jefferson County Auditor's Office for placement on the real estate tax duplicate as liens and to be collected with real estate taxes. This is a first read.
This next ordinance is again with the sanitary sewer fees. Anyone that's late on their bills, this will be turned over to the county as liens onto their properties.
An ordinance directing the village, this is ordinance number 2023-55. An ordinance directing the village clerk to certify delinquent sanitary sewer fees to the Jefferson County Auditor's Office for placement on the real estate tax duplicate as liens and to be collected with real estate taxes. This is a first read.
This next ordinance is for sanitation fees. Anyone that is delinquent, it will be turned over to the county and placed on liens for your real estate taxes.
This is ordinance number 2023-56, an ordinance directing the village clerk to certify delinquent sanitation fees to the Jefferson County Auditor's Office for placement on the real estate tax duplicate as liens and to be collected with real estate taxes.
Next ordinance is appropriation for our magistrate court with court fines.
This is resolution number 2023-57, a resolution providing for establishing estimated revenue for the village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency. This is a first read.
You said it was a first read. We're going to suspend the rules on this.
Correct, yes, they're still first reads.
All right. Make a motion to suspend the rules on resolution 2023-57.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Can I get a motion to accept resolution 2023-57?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Are we on 58?
58.
This next ordinance is, again, with the magistrate court. It's an appropriation for payment to another political substitution.
This is resolution number 2023-57, a resolution providing for establishing revenue for the village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
We're on 58.
It's 58.
The ordinance 58.
Excuse me. Ordinance number 2023-58, an ordinance providing for amending and revising the appropriations of expenditures for the village of Wintersville for the calendar year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2023-58?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Can I get a motion to accept ordinance 2023-58?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
This next ordinance or resolution, it's pretty self-explanatory with the Budget Commission and certifying them with the county auditor.
This is ordinance number 2023-59. It's a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. I guess this is a first read.
First read.
The next is ordinance number 2023-60, an ordinance to approve alternative budget for the fiscal year 2024. This is a first read. Next is ordinance number 2023-61, an ordinance authorizing the village administrator to dispose of personal property of the village of Wintersville, Ohio, to wit, a dump truck and trailer, and declaring an emergency. This is a first read also.
Was ordinance 2023-60 supposed to be an emergency?
No,
No.
Oh, this one here, 61.
Yeah, she didn't.
Number.
no. She didn't indicate that
On
it
60,
was.
she didn't declare it an emergency.
Okay.
So it's a first read?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. That is all of our ordinances and resolutions. Thank you, Jake.
Did you guys, are you guys, do you not want to pass 61 tonight, or is it up to you? It's up to you. Want to wait?
This is emergency.
61.
That was the truck
The truck.
Truck and the trailer.
for.
You can wait if you want, I just wanted to make sure.
That's up
Dump
to
truck,
council.
530. Is that what it
It
is?
has 3 reads, or emergency.
It's up to council.
I guess we can get it out as soon as we can. It's just the, putting the truck and trailer out for bids, correct?
Correct.
Correct. It's the two sitting at the street garage. The two oldest that need to go.
I make a motion to suspend the rules for ordinance 2023-61.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman? Yay. Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Ms. Dameron?
Yay.
Can I get a motion to accept ordinance 2023-61?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on it?
No.
Mr. Merriman? Yay. Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
All right. Thank you, Jake. It's the end of our ordinances and resolutions. We'll move on to announcements. Saturday, August 19th will be the Josh Merriman Golf Outing. It'll be at Steubenville Country Club at 8 a.m. And next week starts the Jefferson County Fair out at the fairgrounds. Next, for reports and communications, the monthly report for Mayor's Court for July of 2023. City revenue was $5,187. State revenue was $1,232. Other revenue was $42, with a total revenue for July 2023 of $6,461. Police report, we had 151 complaints, 7 nuisance/code enforcement, 177 incoming calls, 11 accidents, 23 cases, 14 alarm calls, 17 juvenile cases, 42 traffic arrests, 2 criminal arrests, 1 parking violation, 3 vehicle impounds, and 12 auxiliary hours. Council, if you look at the next item in your packet, Jen and Natalie and Eric have been working on this. This is when Eric took over as our nuisance officer, and you will see all the complaints that have come in, garbage in the yard, trash blowing, and you'll see where we're at. Some of them are pending, some have been cited into court, and some have actually have cleaned up. So this is up to date for the year, and then we will begin doing them monthly, so you guys have that report. You can see how they're ongoing and resolved. Code enforcement report, we had 12 licenses totaling $900. and 16 permits for $550, for a total of $1,450 for the month of July 2023 for the code enforcement.
Nice.
Next, we will hear from our water superintendent.
George Kovach, I run the water department in Wintersville. Been a little busy, had a couple of water breaks on North Avalon, got that taken care of. There was a major one on Warren. The past few days where AEP kindly ripped out a nice service line for us. We had to dig up the entire road to fix. That was interesting. Tomorrow we're supposed to have the scope done on our water tower drain so that we can begin deciding where the new catch basin will go so we can move forward with fixing the water tower leak and getting the new overflow installed. So, those are just a few things that we're working on and got done, so that's it for me.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Our sewer department, sanitation street, I believe they are working on, we have an issue on a lift station on Leonard Avenue, so they were not able to be here.
They're still working.
Jesse and I can answer any questions on those departments when we give our reports.
Yes.
Next, we will have Captain Fabian come up for the police department, please. He is acting chief this week,
Chief of Police.
as our Chief Vanderborn is on a much-needed little vacation.
Okay. Got a small list. First thing, everything is running smoothly at the department at this time. As you know, nuisance enforcement and traffic enforcement has been stepped up in the problem areas. As you've seen today in court, there's been some nuisance violations that are being dealt with. K-9 donations are coming in. They are greatly appreciated. They'll make this program possible. If we can keep those coming, they benefit a great cause here. Officer Barbetta is preparing to go away to his K-9 training at towards the end of this month. I'm sure many of you have seen posts on social media about the community coming together to make all this possible. So on behalf of the Wintersville Police Department, we wanted to thank everyone. Everything's been great. Last, our webpage for the Wintersville Police Department, wintersvillepolice.us, is up and running. It is active at this time. It includes links to pay fines, download crash reports, make donations, and other valuable links and resources for the village. Updates will be added as we move forward. Other than that, I have nothing else to report.
Jason, I had mentioned to Lou about if they wanted to set up a booth out at the dog show, Labor Day weekend. I know the officer and the dog can't be there, but even just to get information out, donations, et cetera.
I haven't talked with Chief Vanderborn about that yet. I know that Officer Barbetta and Chief Vanderborn have been working together to do various fundraising events for the dog, so I'm not sure if that's been discussed or not. I can put on the list when he returns.
Yeah, let him know we're
I can
interested in
hit
having
him
him
with
out
the
there.
first thing Monday morning.
Okay,
He's going to have a great Monday.
thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Yeah, good for the upgrades that you got going on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Captain. Good job. All right, next, Mr. Lockhart.
Thank you, Mayor. Robert Lockhart, Rex Avenue, your representative to these two agencies I'll be reporting on tonight. First covered a meeting with the Seven Ranges Joint Fire District, June 20th. There was a couple of resolutions approving the request of Island Creek Township to join the Seven Ranges Fire District. That was just brought up at that meeting. Second resolution was the necessity to replace the present continuous 6-point mill levy for the Seven Ranges. And the last was to resolution to submit the resolution passed to the auditor for consideration. Next meeting was July 12. Other than financial matters, approving the bill and the budget was approved. Also, resolution to proceed with the submission of the replacement tax levy in excess of 10 mil limitation. That would go to the auditor for the up-and-coming election. Prior to that, there was just general information presented pertaining to Island Creek and the subsequent approval for their incorporation into the district. That entity has to have a levy passed by the residences in order to establish the levy, which is part of the necessary commitment to 7 ranges. That was completed on their part, it's pending. So that will allow a member of that community to be a member of the board on the fire with the fire district. Next, we're reporting on a meeting I attended. Steel Valley residents on August the 10th. The Steel Valley Transit Authority, I have to get my paperwork here. That meeting was July 18, 2020. First order of business, Jim Emmerling updated the board with regard to the current and pending advertisement of Steel Valley, in which we have a contract with EM Media to prepare and present that information, and he was to complete that by July or August this year. Jefferson County Health District approved a stipend of $2,500 given to Steel Valley resident regional transit, and it covered the maintenance, storage, upkeep of a vehicle that they operate in a partnership with Steel Valley, and it's a wellness vehicle that they utilize, and they don't have the capacity to take care of the operation that Steel Valley stores it, changes the oil, they supply the parts for it, and they wash it and take care of the vehicle for that agency. So they gave an amount of $2,500 to Steel Valley for that consideration since the acquisition of that vehicle in 2021 to the current. The grant application that Steel Valley has with a consulting firm in Columbus, Ohio, has finally coming close to fruition, in that the individual from the Department of Development had some questions concerning the application, which were resolved by a man named Brett Smith, who is the consultant for Steel Valley with the firm in Columbus, Ohio. And all of those matters were taken care of as of June 14. And what has transpired as a result of completing all that information, it's certified that Steel Valley has met all of the standards of the grant application, which will cover the expenditure of the property adjacent across the street from the mobile center that has to be examined for environmental difficulties if they establish it. So that application is pending to the Ohio Department of Development. Hopefully it'll be taken care of quickly with regard to that property. Transportation very good. Transportation operation of the bus service is good. No problems with regard to the financial expenses overall from the same period, 2022 to to the current year has increased 9.8%, which is not bad considering gas prices and other increases. With regard to ride share, Wintersville is doing very well as usual. Overall passes are increasing with regard to acquisition by the local community individuals, 29%. The bus service to Robinson Township diminished for a period of time from the previous 2022, and they attributed to summer vacation and travel, but other than that, it's still a well-utilized service that's covering the trips to Robinson, both from the Raylan extension and also from Wintersville and other communities within this area. The Health Department insurance is in the pending status by Chris O'Clock, and Chris, the agency that we deal with, and they're going to submit their findings as far as the insurance increases by this month or by the end of September, I'm sorry. Chase Bank, the only thing we have, the board entered into agreement of a 3-month renewable 2,400, I'm sorry, $2,400 amount of money covering a 3-month period. The only thing that had to be completed is the members of the board, which we approved, Jennifer Beal and William Hendricks, along with Tim Turner, the manager, must sign all documentation with regard to any funds related to that. Tim Turner and Jerry Thomas traveled to Washington, D.C., June 27 and 28 for the purpose of attending the electric vehicle conference. And they were able to obtain a lot of information pertaining to the future of acquisition of electric vehicles. I'm not going to get into the details in that, but it said it was a very good conference and very informative for the future needs. Rose Orsini is the consultant with EZ to Use. It's a firm that is developing the app for the bus service. She's only waiting for some information from EM Media to complete the app, and that'll be in the near future, hopefully. Weirton Transit, I could give you no information other than what you may see in the papers and that. We've had no contact with them. They've not asked us for anything, and we are not involved in the process of what they're going through right now. Other than that, any questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lockhart. All right. All right, moving on to the mayor's report. Give council a quick update. So Jesse was working on getting estimates after our last council meeting when we had other oil providers in here. So the lowest estimate we got for the fuel tank ended up going to Riley Petroleum for roughly $4,500. The concrete was significantly lower than what we asked you guys to approve. I think we got that in for around $5,700.
Correct.
And the new system that will also be used on our diesel tank and our regular gasoline tank, Landmark, end up coming in at the lowest of that, and that was at roughly $14,000. So that project is moving right ahead. Our guys are going to be doing the excavating to prep the pad for the concrete to be poured. Hopefully here, I think next week we're going to be doing the excavating. So we will inform you guys as we keep moving forward.
Is it 14 total?
What did we approve for the concrete? Do you remember?
I think we said no more than 15. We thought it'd be around 10, but we said no more than 15.
And we came in at 57.
Yes.
You said Riley got the tank, Landmark got the system. Who got the concrete?
MA Concrete.
Okay.
So what was the total bill on that? 14 or 11 and 14?
The system's it was $14,068.96. I might be off by a couple dollars. Concrete, would you say?
5,700.
5,700. Then the fuel tank was 4563.
Yep. We still got to pay for the installation.
You guys approved the whole project to not go
Right.
past 40,000,
Yep.
which we're,
We're going to be way under.
Right.
yeah, we're looking way under at the moment.
Good.
Good.
Works well when you get multiple estimates.
Are you still gonna bid out the fuel?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That'll be a daily or that'll be like a weekly occurrence.
Wherever it goes cheapest, you just get that week and just keep flipping.
Competition's a good thing.
What about the system that you're referring to from Landmark? Is that the computerized tracking
Yes.
system?
Yeah, so it's actually on our diesel tank. It's the one that's on our diesel tank already. It just has never been
Probably.
working.
Okay.
We was thinking,
But it'll get that one working and this one, and then every department will know exactly who's getting fuel.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Next, as I mentioned, you guys, I'd like to get a motion to do the, I know we talked about it in our finance meeting the other night, the thermoplastic stripes for Woodridge, once the second half of it is paved, Luray Drive and Winters Drive. I guess let's say for no more than $18,000. We did finally get a second estimate, and it was more than the original. Griffith Pavement Striping Company came in at $17,423, and Oglesby Construction came in at $18,151.
Did you look into buying that machine to do it ourselves?
Yes, I'm still waiting to hear back from them.
Okay.
Called up there multiple times and left voicemails for them to call us.
Okay, and you said this was for Winters, Luray?
Winters, Luray, and then it'll be all of Woodridge once the second half of Woodridge gets paved.
Where's that 18,000 coming from?
It'll come out of the capital outlay in the street department, which I think their capital outlay, as I said in the finance, was at $50,000. So we haven't spent anything out of that part yet.
So you need a motion for this.
Yes, to spend no more than $18,000 on the Griffith Pavement Striping Company. Sorry, that's a tough one to say there.
Make a motion for the thermoplastic street lining of no more than $18,000 with the company of Griffith.
Second?
Mr. Merriman? Yeah. Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
yay.
Mr. Spence, yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Thank you, guys. Next, I had a great meeting with AEP and their customer service. I know last year I wanted to try to pull this project off. I was kind of told it'd be too expensive. Well, after meeting with AEP themselves, we will be starting in 2024. We will be converting all of our streetlights over to LEDs. The project will probably wrap up in early 2025, and it is not going to cost the taxpayers anything. AEP will be doing this for nothing, as they want to see this keep happening in other communities. We just happen to be one of the first ones to request it. So it'll save them energy, it'll save us energy, save us money. And again, they're going to be starting hopefully 2024 and wrapping up in early 2025 throughout the whole village for the streetlights.
Is there like a government stipend or grant or anything for this, that since they're not charging?
No, they said
They
on
just
their,
said they
on
don't
their end,
charge.
they don't charge. I mean, we call them now when
That's good.
streetlights go out
Mm-hmm.
and they switch them over to LED.
Yeah,
But overall, they want to, obviously, everybody wants to get everything to LED.
Yeah.
So again, we pay for the poles from them, so I think it's one of those things, if you request it,
they'll do it.
they'll do it.
Do they actually give you a percentage of how much you'd save or no?
He's working on that. After our meeting, he was leaving for vacation, so
Right.
I have to wait on some of those numbers from him. I should have it by next meeting, though.
How often will they replace them? Do you know if they would do it again? Or
Goes
would
by
we
hours
have
on
to
those.
pay it?
When we replace them,
The LEDs?
They go by hours, so you have to
Hopefully
figure out how many hours.
we,
are.
yeah, they replace them for, I don't think they ever charge us, right?
Do they?
No,
Okay.
Good deal.
yeah.
Yeah, real good deal.
Next that I have is, I've been getting some multiple anonymous letters, so I hope this person is watching the meetings. They've asked about the road going into the plaza at Ferguson's House of Furniture by McDonald's. This is not a village road. We are not in charge of the lines. We are not in charge of potholes. So that's the first thing. Second thing, they've asked about Main Street, Kroger, and down to the high school, Caddis Road. We know Caddis Road is a mess. Our guys did a great job patching it the best they could. And this person was asking about white dash lines. I know some of them are worn off. We're probably not going to be spending any money on Caddis Road this year just because of the amount of work going into the project for next year to get Caddis Road completely up to date. We're not going to waste money doing anything this year. I mean, again, we're going to keep filling potholes and things like that, but that'd be probably $100,000 if I had to guess off the top of my head to repaint every single one of those lines when we're hoping that the road's going to be completely redone next year and we'll have new lines in it, hopefully thermoplastic lines. And the other item this person keeps asking about is the Indian Creek flags. So in the past, Indian Creek always paid for the flags that would go down by the school, and the village would hang them for free. We asked them to do the same thing with our new banners that have gone up, to put Indian Creek banners up, and Indian Creek did not want to participate in that anymore. That is why there are no Indian Creek flags or banners down by the school. So if you're watching at home, you may call Indian Creek High School and discuss that with them.
So I had a question about these thermoplastic lines, because you keep mentioning that.
Yes.
What's the durability and the lifespan for the lines compared to just regular street paint?
So regular lines, I don't know, maybe a year. I guess it depends how bad winter is. Thermoplastic is supposed to last a minimum of 5 years, if not longer. It also depends how thick it goes down.
Thanks.
I'm learning more as I YouTube how to do it in case we end up buying our own machine one day.
Save us a lot of money.
Yes.
The YouTube guy now.
Yeah.
You said at the time that we approved the 18, up to 18,000, but you told us that machines actually run about that same amount, correct?
Anywhere from 18,000 up, depending on the size. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they call back, might be able to look at something and, for the future, obviously we got plenty of roads, and obviously with the Caddis Road project for next year, I mean, that if we could pull that off ourselves, that would probably save an enormous amount of money.
Any
Yeah.
idea what the quantities of paint would be utilized and what the cost of that would be?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't want to tell you the wrong thing.
Okay, just curious.
Next up, want to thank everyone. We had a great summer parks program. Want to thank Nicole Knight, the instructor down there. She did a great job. It was the largest amount of kids we've ever had. So thank you, Nicole, and thanks to all the kids for participating. And also want to thank Jesse Kasegi. He paid for the last day pizza party out of his own pocket for all the kids. So thank you, Jesse. While we're discussing the parks, want to thank Officer Justin Barbetta. we've had some vandalism go on down at Walnut Park, and Officer Barbetta, also using our new camera systems at the park, was able to apprehend the 2 juveniles that were doing the damage down there. So we want to thank him so that we can keep our parks nice and clean and safe for our kids. Also want to mention, we want to thank George, Cindy, Bob, and Randy on the water break. And also Benny, George, Teddy, and Bob with the line disruption that they finished fixing today. The men and women did a great job over there, so we appreciate that. Reminder to citizens, and the first 3 Mondays in November will be our leaf pickup that we do every year. Please push all your leaves down to the curb or the ditch line. Do not push them into the road. August 31st is the United Way Day of Giving. We will be participating with them again. We have volunteers coming to help paint our water garage. So last year they did the old police station. They had a lot of fun. And this year on that Thursday, if anybody wants to volunteer or participate, I believe it'll start around 9 a.m. It's a Thursday. Hopefully the weather hangs on there, and we will be painting the water garage. Next, council, I would like to invite all of you and any citizens. Sunday, September 3rd at 4 p.m., we're going to be having a small groundbreaking ceremony here in the parking lot for our park here at the Village Building as we get closer to getting the funds in and as we get closer with the Appalachian Grant. So we are going to do a groundbreaking ceremony that Sunday just to get things going. Next, we will have another finance meeting, August 20.
You said the 4th?
Sunday, September 3rd.
Okay, because you said the
3rd
4th,
at 4
so-
p.m., I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
You're okay. Just wanted to correct it. Thank you.
We will be having our next finance meeting, August 22nd at 7 p.m. It'll be up here. It is open to the public. We'll be starting to work on our 2024 budget.
Say 5? Say 5 p.m.? Or 6?
6.
Is it 6? Oh, geez, man,
Okay.
I'm way off tonight here. We will also, next month, we will be going back to 2 meetings a month, the first and third Thursday of each month, as a reminder.
Did we move? Weren't we supposed to move one of them?
I think we moved August.
That was this month.
Yeah, we
that
already
was
moved
this
it.
month.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
A month late.
As Captain Fabian said earlier, reminding citizens and all visitors, please try to slow down. Nobody has that many emergencies in one day. I know everybody's in a hurry. We all are guilty of it at times, but please try to slow down. Neighborhoods, Main Street, Caddis Road, 43, everywhere, Fernwood, and all the small streets off the sides. The speeding is out of control. There are kids running around, playing. There's people trying to go to work. There's people going into businesses. Please slow down. If you want to drive fast, try to be a NASCAR driver. Also, citizens, as Captain Fabian also mentioned, we're getting a lot of complaints with nuisance issues. Some are minor. For the majority of the citizens, they take great pride in their property, and we appreciate that. For the select few that we're getting multiple calls on, please try to take care of your property. If you need some help, Eric is very easy to work with when he gets called to a nuisance complaint, but we need to do better at taking pride in your property. The complaints that are coming in are absolutely ridiculous. Some are absolutely disgusting. And I know neighbors are getting fed up with things. We do have ordinances. If you don't like that, I apologize. But please try to take care of your properties. Next, I put in council's packet, I wanted to give you guys a list. We started this in November for projects for 2023. It's a quick list of what we have coming up, work that we're going to continue to do throughout the whole year, work that's specific to each department, and then the big list is all the work that our men and women have completed already. I update this about once a month, if not sooner, as the guys keep finishing different jobs. If you guys get calls or anything or know of anything that may not be on here, please let us know so we can add it to the list of projects, whether it be a drain, a catch basin, whatever it may be. Lastly, on my agenda, I want to talk about a few of our businesses. I want to congratulate Insight Clinical Counseling. They came here in 2022. They are already expanding. They are hiring more technicians at their place, so that's great news, and that's great news for the village as more employees come in. I want to congratulate Tom Panabiaco. He's been in business over 60 years here in the village. We thank Tom at Razor's Edge. I want to congratulate Halo Salon. They're going to be expanding their business to a new location here in the village, hopefully by the end of the year or early 2024. I also want to thank Infinite Electronics Recycling. They had Dr. Scarpone and myself were invited on a tour to the recycling facility here in the village. And what they do is recycle, refurbish, resell electronics. It was actually extremely interesting. We had a great time learning about a lot of things, and I want to thank them. This is their biggest location with 15 employees right here in the village, so that is a very big help.
Where are they at? What's the location?
They are in the bottom of Ferguson's House of Furniture. They actually occupy the whole space, correct?
Yeah,
It was
100,000
100,000 square feet that they occupy down there.
And anybody can walk up with electronics for recycling, for the village?
Yeah, they have different protocols. We learned a lot, actually. It actually costs, if you go to recycle a TV, they do have to charge because it costs so much money to actually recycle them. It's better than putting it in a landfill, though. And lastly, want to thank Grit Gear Apparel. They are helping once again, doing K9 t-shirts, and a portion's going back to our K9 program. Thank you guys very much for your generosity all the time to our police department. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that is the end of my report. I will turn it over to our administrator.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing, myself and Council President Randy Spence went to Main Street Bank on, actually it was on 8/8, to pull the CD that had matured for the village for $250,000, $10.27. So we signed that out at Main Street Bank and then took it directly to First National Bank, where it was deposited into one of our business sweep accounts on the same day. And Melanie was given all the information and receipts on that, so that's taken care of. The policy and procedure agreement that I talked about last month, there was a question about if there was an actual contract. Well, it is an agreement that we signed for 12 to 16 months, but 12 months minimum at $895 a month. After 12 months, it's reevaluated and the price will change, but I wanted to bring that information back to the meeting for clarification to make sure that we were on the same page about that. This was already passed, but I did not sign anything yet until all the information and questions were answered. Councilwoman Gail Dameron is also going to be involved since she has many, many, many years of HR experience. So I talked with Zach Abraham, who's the head of HR, he's HR Direct, and he's all for it. So we're going to update all our policy and procedures because they are 20-some years old and more, And so we're going to move on that. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody was okay with it.
Jess, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
I did just add, I'm let Jake double check that, just since we do have to sign an actual contract, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's
I just
fine.
want him to check that in case we have to pass as an ordinance or not. Go ahead.
So the wastewater, this is kind of important here. The wastewater treatment plants, we have to get a study mandated by the EPA. Quixel Engineering is going to do a 3-part study on the flow of the sewage and storm water that's going into the wastewater plant. There's an issue with the storage capacity, the flow capacity, but we did update our SCADA system, which is going to help us dearly, I believe, in this report, but it is mandated, and we have to have it signed, and Jim Jenkins, who's the actual signer of the operator of the wastewater plant, is doing the work on that. It's a 3-part. The first part is between $10,500 and $11,500. The second part is $12,000 to $13,000. The third part is $12,500 to $13,500. This is going to go like in parts. This has to be done. This was done back a few years ago, and it's coming to the point where we need to do something. I think in the long run we're going to be good because we updated our SCADA system. We have storage tanks, and we can control the flow and find out what's going on. So if council could, if they would do a motion to move on with this, and I can get it signed and sent off.
The first part of that?
The whole thing, right?
That whole thing.
The whole thing.
So 5, 13, 35. So are we looking at a motion that is no more than $40,000?
Correct.
And this is general fund or?
This will come out of either wastewater or capital in wastewater, but wastewater has the budget for it.
So it could be split.
Mm-hmm.
We could
this
be
is-
penalized by the EPA, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
This has to eventually get done.
Okay.
And this is, so it says here that the wastewater treatment plant has gone through 6 phases or works through the past 20 years. When was the last time this was done, actually?
It's been I think this was done before the phases even started. So this has been a long time ago. This is just with there's just more mandates that are coming down from the EPA. And this here with the flow, because the wastewater is designed to hold so much water and so much flow per year. I'm not the wastewater guy, but we're taking in more than what we can handle. But we're handling it because of our updated SCADA system. Now we can control the flow, but they have to do a study on it.
Okay, I make a motion for the wastewater treatment plant for the upgrade of part 1, 2, and 3 for no more than $40,000.
This is just for the study, it's not for
Yeah.
upgrades, correct?
Just study.
Study.
The studies.
Quixel Engineering's doing it.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman?
Yay.
Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
All right. We had Quixel Engineering do a price on Ferda and Morrow Lane to be paved. It has not been paved since 1980. It's been potholed, or the potholes have been fixed for that long. So after I talked with them, I talked with engineer John McDivitt. John McDivitt was interested in helping out, so we spoke with him, told him about what we want to do. Quicksall sent their estimate back at $142,113 for 2 roads. John McDivitt sent his estimate in for approximately $56,000, and that's going to be 2 2.25 inch minimum asphalt. So savings about $86,000, but that does not include, I have not received Quicksall's final bill on what they've done so far. They did a quick estimate. They did they didn't really do engineering reports, but they did an approximate cost of what it was going to be. And they were okay with it, so I don't know what their final bill is going to be. I just talked to them yesterday, and they will send it to me. But I've talked with John and myself and Tammy. They've all done bids before. We're going to do the bid on it. If it does happen, we will do the bid, the advertisement, the inspection. John McDivitt will do his part, and then we have the funds, and we could do this if council agrees to it. And I'll have a definite price on what's going to happen, but before we do that, we have a little bit more legal work to do before we can move forward with this. Let's see here. Sanitation. I sent out the sanitation bid August 1st for 3 years. It's going to be a 3-year bid from October 1st, 2023 to September 30th, 2026. I did a 4-week bid, 28-day bid, 2 times a week in the Herald Star for 4 weeks, social media, also contacted Builders Exchange website. They do that as well, along with other construction work, so they're going to put it out as well. I did send a bid to our current contract holder, Ohio Valley Waste. The bid will end at 2 p.m. on August 29th, and we will find out after that who will get the bid on the sanitation contract for 3 years. The dumpsters, okay, so moving on. So the dumpsters that are in the village are owned by the businesses. The businesses buy those. Some of the dumpsters are starting to break down. A lot of businesses don't really pay attention to that. I get it. So when the sanitation comes around and dumps them every day, they kind of see what happens. Some of our sanitation crew is greasing the grease fittings on the wheels that need maintained. So we're having problems with the wheels are breaking down. They're starting to get old. So pictures have been sent to me, and I'm going to be sending out letters to businesses that to say, hey, listen, just let you know that your dumpster is getting older. It's breaking down and needs repaired. I'm not sending a letter to cite you or to call you out. Just to let you know this is going to need to be repaired, because if you don't have wheels on it, it makes it hard for sanitation to load and unload correctly. We don't want to have injuries. When you have a dumpster, it needs to be on a hard surface, asphalt or concrete. When it's placed on a soft surface, it just digs ruts and holes, and it just causes damage. And it just makes it hard in the long run for sanitation to load and unload that heavy piece of equipment. So if you have a dumpster that you paid for, make a pad for it. It just makes it easier. It really does. And it keeps the dumpster from breaking down. You'll last longer. A big thing, businesses, or not businesses, but people, not just dumpsters, but your trash. If you have needles in your garbage can that are in the open, what's going to happen is we're not going to pick your garbage up. We're not going to touch it. We're not going to have a person that's been poked by a needle. It's just not going to happen. The sanitation workers have been nice enough to knock on their door to say, listen, your insulin or whatever you got to take, hey, can you put that in the sharps container? The doctor will give you one. I'm sure the pharmacy will too as well. We don't need to go through that. All right, another thing. No, there are businesses that don't have dumpsters that are going to need dumpsters, and you're going to get a letter from me. There is an ordinance about that. We're not going to have sanitation workers, laborers hurting their backs because they're trying to haul 40, 50-pound bags of garbage when you can get a dumpster. So you'll be getting a letter to buy a dumpster. Another thing is no wood, metal, or construction equipment in the dumpsters. That gets caught between the body, the tailgate, the container cover, and the opener in a compaction plate, which causes the truck to be down and causes a lot of trouble and a heartache to get fixed. Make arrangements to dispose of that another way, and that will solve a lot of the problems.
You know how you say that? Is maybe you could get, like, if they pull up to that, if you had a sticker, so we can, to put on them bags, so they don't call you, say, hey, you didn't take my garbage. No, we're not taking it.
You do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can do that.
We won't take it.
Yep, no problem. That's a good idea. Okay, so the 2023 paving project.
I have a question before you get into that.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting back to the sanitation bids. Now, when does the current contract of our current sanitation vendor end?
October
October
1st. No, it's the end of the month.
October what?
It's the end of the month.
Oh,
October 31st
27.
or 27th. Okay, so now we have these bids put out. What happens if we don't get the bid, or these bids are sky high and we don't want to go with them? Do we have a second option in place on what we can do?
We can always speak to the landfill, try to drive it back out there to Apex or Brooke County.
Because currently, we pick up the garbage now, we put them in the compactor at our garage, and then this company comes and picks them up.
Correct.
So if we have an issue, our plan B would be to haul our own garbage out to the landfill.
Correct.
With our garbage trucks?
Yes.
That's what Stonewall does.
Yeah, they go to Brooke County.
You can get two prices.
I was going to say, what would be the cost difference between us driving it out there than instead of having someone pick it up? I mean, did we look into that?
We can run numbers as a backup plan.
Okay.
Plus our truck CDLs, the garbage?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
we have options.
Okay.
Okay, 2023 paving project, Rex, Russell, Day Circle, Woodridge, Simpson, and Patton. The roads that are scheduled to be done are going to get done. The bid goes out in 2 Thursdays. Due to OPWC, when they release the budget, or when they release the money, and when we can do the bid. Right now, we're $50,000 over budget because of price difference from when they initially did the cost, which was way last year versus this year. And this is with a 1.5-inch base of asphalt, which it's not good. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. It's not going to hold up. And everybody on those 5 streets are going to be upset within about 2-3 years. So I talked with Quicksall. I told them to redo it with a 2-inch minimum of asphalt. Also, there's going to need to be catch basins fixed in some of these roads. That was not put into the budget. There's going to need to be curbs that are going to have to be repaired. That was not put into the budget. There's just going to be some other little things. I mean, they have contingencies on cost, but so what we're going to do, myself and Randy from the street department, we're going to go around and make sure that this gets fixed, that gets fixed prior, this needs a curb, that needs a curb, because there's a person on Day Circle that needs a curb because the poor lady and her husband put a lot of money into their house, and it needs to be fixed correctly, and that catch basin needs to be fixed. There's a catch basin at the end of Rex Avenue that needs to be repaired. There's a collapsed line somewhere. I contacted MPL, who did all the camera work prior to them putting in the gas lines, so I can get that information, and then we can find out exactly what's going on, get that fixed. So we're going to see exactly what's going to happen here. That's just their estimate. But I talked to Quicksalt today. I sent him an email. I said, is there any way that we can save money on this project? Because it's going to get done. I just want to make sure that it's done correctly, because at this point on, there's certain criteria that we're going to meet, and there's a checklist that we're going to do for every road, but this was done before I got here, and now we're going to have to play catch-up to get this fixed correctly. And the people of these streets deserve a road that's going to last more than 3 years. So I am working on that. I will have an answer. Like I said, in 2 weeks it goes out for bid. This week we're going to sign off on everything, exactly what we need to do, and we'll see what happens. Also, I talked with Trey Bell Electric about the aggregate. Talked with him today. The two companies, Archer Energy and Energy Harbor, right now are the two ones with the lowest at 0.061 cents a kilowatt hour for 19 months. It's a 19-month contract. And I asked him, our contract ends with Trey Bell next June. I said, does that affect anything? He says, no. The residents will still get 19 months of coverage, or at that rate, even though we are going to end our contract in June of next year. And that's what he said on an email today. I said, okay. I said, I will take that to council, and we will go from there. So that's what I have for Trey Bell as of today. So Archer Energy is 0.06419. Energy Harbor is 0.06250. And that might change tomorrow, but that's a 19-month contract.
I don't think we should go with either one of those until Jake reviews that contract again.
That's fine.
What are we at now currently?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, you had nothing? I'm just saying.
I don't want to get
I'm saying
trapped
what
by
we get charged
Trey
on.
Bell with that.
Well,
The current one, that was a lot higher, right?
we don't,
Per month?
we're not in an aggregate.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
AEP
getting whatever
is much
AEP
higher.
is.
AEP is like a dollar
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, so I think he's asking what AEP's number is.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
essentially, yeah.
point one
Well,
two.
The citizens can engage in their own aggregate contract, correct?
Correct, yes.
Right. I got one last month with Energy Harbor, and you said if we went to them, it was .675. Mine is .695, and I got mine for 48 months because AEP, I believe, was almost 11 cents.
That's what I was talking about.
So if anybody, you can go out and get your own until we finalize a contract with Trey Bell.
Are there any fees
No fees. The one I got, there were,
for the one that they offered, Jesse?
Watch,
Oh, I don't know.
watch that harbor. I was reading into some of the fine print with that. And if you terminate, it says they won't charge you if you terminate with them early. But then it goes on to, it elaborates to the fact that you'd have to pay, some additional fees and some additional things up to that 12 months and all. Yeah, so just be real careful with those.
I looked at mine and there was no fees or anything, early termination.
Yeah, or Energy Harbor
anything.
came back better than Archer did.
Yeah, Mount
Yeah.
Energy Harbor.
Can you have Scott draft up the contracts for that so that Jake Lynn could review them?
Yes.
With the way that they're set up, the way the original, or the contract we had before with Trey Bell was that his company is paid from the fees that are paid by the citizens. So the village itself does not pay, as an entity, the village itself doesn't pay anything to Trey Bell. So if I'd have to review and see if that's how this one's set up. I talked to Jesse earlier today, and I don't think it would be a problem entering into it, so long as we had a clause in there that stated after June 2024, we're allowed to switch agents if we want to engage with another consulting firm, or it can be done by the village itself, but I do believe it involves the public PUCO, Ohio Public Utilities Commission, and it is a pretty complicated process, but but you don't have to get a consultant if you don't want one as a village.
I think as long as you check the contract with Trey Bell so that we don't get trapped and we know we're still exiting, because council already passed that ordinance to exit in June of 2024, then we can move forward. I gotta watch how much I say. I'll probably get sued if I mention it too much. you
Well,
know.
I mean, we have to be very careful because of what we've already encountered. So, I mean, I would prefer to have Jake verify and look that over to make sure that there aren't any, clauses in there that we're gonna get hung up on again.
I agree 100%.
Only problem is with those rates, they can go up very quickly every day. They change every day. But I have been asked about whether or not we have an aggregate because of the way the electric bills. Mine doubled in a month and it wasn't that, I mean, I keep mine constant and it wasn't that.
But again, the public can act on their own like Randy did and go with their own aggregate.
They've always been allowed to opt out or opt in. You got the property tax thing.
Yep, yeah, so one more thing, the property, our tax issue we had of the $138,000, we are cleared by the state of Ohio. We got a letter from the state saying that we paid what we needed to pay. And we did get, and I don't have it on me, but we did get a refund check that was hand-delivered by the Jefferson County Auditor's Office for $14,399.10, I believe. That was our 3 years back that we got out of the $138,000 that we paid. So we got that back, and we are free and clear with the state of Ohio. And that's it. And the most we'll pay for property tax with a structure on it's like $6 a year.
Good job.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Moving on to unfinished business.
I just wanted to add to your list of this, is that Garden Drive and Meadow. You said it might need trenched out, or does need trenched out for next year, maybe?
Yes, we are looking into that down by the park. Thank you for a reminder.
Just so you can let the citizens know.
Thank you.
I had one on the, it was a reading several months ago back about the recreational vehicles in driveways that we know. Jake, we have anything for that?
I do not have anything for recreational vehicles.
Yeah, it says like if you could have like a boat or a
I think-
RV, there was a red a while
I
ago,
think
we
we
did
did,
act on
we
it.
did that ordinance a while back when we adjusted.
Yeah, I'd have to review.
Vehicles.
Yeah.
I can't, for some reason, I can't recall this.
It was months ago.
Yeah, it was months ago.
I'd have
It's
to
like
look
if you had a boat, you couldn't leave it in your driveway all year, you'd have to,
Yeah, I think we we changed the nuisance ordinances.
Yeah.
And I'd have to look at what we changed specifically. I don't believe that we changed that.
Right.
I think we maybe.
Address license
we
plates
did
on
license
cars.
plates and stuff like that.
can you get back and review it? I had a couple
Yeah,
of people ask about that.
I could do that.
I got a couple things. Do we have any update on the wall on Parkview?
Yes.
So what happened, what we have is we got a survey done. This started back in March, April. And we selected a company to do the survey, and they were about 3.5 months out. So July 6th, they came down and did the survey. Talked with its company out of Carrollton or New Philly. It's Elmer and something, I don't have it on me, but I talked with him today. He's completing the survey. He's going to have something in an email sent to me next week, and he'll have a hard copy of the survey within the next couple weeks. But everything is going along smooth. He got it completed, and we'll have his work in the next week or so.
Okay, thank you. What about, we came across that we had a pump station on private property. Do we have any update on that?
Still working on that.
Yeah, we don't have an update on that at the moment. I have not had contact yet with the attorney for the gentleman, and he has not given Jesse or Mike a price for what he wants us to pay.
Okay.
There was no easement done?
The easement was redone. It was not completed 25 years ago. So John McDivitt completed the easement a couple months ago and did his part. And then, Solicitor Lynn reached out to Mr. Smith's attorney, and then they're trying to, come up, they need to do their part and then need to come up with a price, and then we can move forward. But our part is done.
Okay. That's all I have for old business.
Anybody else for unfinished business? All right. Moving along to new business. Council, you will see in your packets, Melanie left the fund status, a lot of appropriations. She's got July and August in here for everyone.
Just need to sign at the end of the thing when they're done.
Was it this one?
Yeah, just at the end, when we're done.
Yep.
$3 million.
Anybody have anything for new business?
I'd like to touch base on the water line break. George, that was in charge of the water department, said that we had to tear a road up and everything. Now, is AEP going to either pay us or reimburse us for the street, the line, the fuel, and the people that we use to fix the line?
Correct. They will pay us for all labor, fuel, materials, and obviously the road.
Okay. Last one, promise. This is for Jake. On our financial computer that we have here, that the last financial individual used, there's data on there from different municipalities and not Wintersville's. So, being in the InfoSec world, I know that if you hold somebody else's data and that data gets breached and they gain access to that data, since you had it, you're responsible for that data. So I think we need to either have someone go over that financial computer, because I know that Melanie was taking a couple of files that she couldn't miss, and she was putting them on a thumb drive. But we don't know what other data that might be on this PC.
Yeah, I'd like to do some research on it, but I would say, as far as the public records are concerned, if they're not Wintersville business, we don't have a duty to preserve them, but I do think it would be a good practice to maybe contact those other municipalities and ask them if they would like copies sent to them. And then after that, I would recommend no longer retaining those, because they are not, if they don't have anything to do with Wintersville business,
Right.
they aren't our duty to retain them, and I don't think that we should retain them. But yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea, is to have somebody come in and look at that computer and see if they can find data might be helpful for other municipalities, if it's, however it got on there.
Okay. That's it for me.
Anybody else for new business?
I have some, but it's kind of what you said earlier about speeding, nuisance, noise. Kind of respect your neighbors.
It's getting low out of
I
hand.
mean, it is like a racetrack on Woodland Park, Starkey, Beechwood, Winters Drive.
It's all over, unfortunately. Anybody else for new business?
Just want to remind everybody that we have the Friendship Cluster Dog Show Labor Day weekend out at Friendship Park. The public is welcome all 4 days from about 8 in the morning until 5 in the evening. And thank you, Jesse, for all of your endeavors.
You're welcome.
All right. There's no transfers. You guys do need to sign the
Bank rec.
bank rec when the meeting ends. So I just need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Merriman? Dr. Scarpone?
Yay.
Mr. DeStefano?
Yay.
Mr. Spence? Yay. Mrs. Dameron?
Yay.
Our next council meeting will be September 7th, 2023, at 7 PM on Thursday. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.